sweetgrass. I barely have any of it left. It was braided sweetgrass. Now it's not so braided anymore. Sometimes things have to unravel. They've been weaved together so nicely up until this point, but they've still started to come apart. And it's important to let them. This card fell out yesterday at the end of a reading that I did. I shuffled all the cards and I was putting them back in the box, and this one came out. And it felt important, but I had places to be, people to spend time with. So I put it back in the box and went about my evening. And then today, one of the few people whose pages I've subscribed to, True Path Tarot, she posted and this is like right there in the picture, and I immediately was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go and pull my own cards before I listen to any of this video and see what message I was supposed to receive from it. So here I am to receive whatever Freya has to tell me. It says, phases and cycles. There is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. As I was talking about with the braid, sometimes these things that we've weaved have to come apart. With the moon energy very, very heavy on the card, I've been thinking a lot about that. It has a lot to do with illusions. And as that full moon is illuminated, so are the things that have been hidden from us. I set everything up. I got the moonstone. I can't remember what this one is, right? But like it's green. I got that one. I set up the feathers all before I pulled the card out. And then I pulled the card out and I knew that the bird was there. That's kind of why I wanted the feathers, and they were already right near me just calling out. But then like the moonstone, it didn't fully click to me that there's a moon behind her. That's just my subconscious doing what it does. And then the green, I didn't realize she's wearing green, which is giving very heart chakra opening energy. We have to keep our heart open to these changes, to these cycles that we move through. Sometimes keeping your heart closed to the cycles keeps you stuck in the cycle. And what you need to get out of it and move on into the next phase is that open heart. I even went and grabbed this painting from like somewhere else. Somewhere else on the boat. But I made this painting recently and I was just trying to pull the painting that felt like it went the best. And as I was setting it up, and I was like, you know, this really does feel right. Like my ears started ringing and I was like, oh, okay. So maybe there's something to be seen in that later. Okay, I'm being pulled to both the Moon and the Star Dragon decks. But more so the Star Dragon, which is interesting. I definitely thought I was going to be going with the Moon one first, but one of those accepting that the feelings don't always match the thoughts. We're trying to follow our heart here. Okay, Freya. Actually, before I read from the Dragon deck, I'm going to read about Freya from the book. Okay. Freya, which means lady, is the Norse goddess of the moon and love. She is the twin flame of Odin and a warrior goddess who offers deep spiritual and physical protection to those who call on her. She will stand before you with her shield and spear, keeping you safe from harm. She works closely with moon energy and helps us recognize that our life is a cycle that is always changing. She herself is the maiden, the mother, and the crone aspect of all women, and guides them to see the wisdom these cycles bring. We all go through phases and cycles of growth, and Freya is the energy that supports this. She has a raven spirit totem, which is said to represent her capacity to travel between heaven and earth. The extended message. A phase of your life may be coming to an end, but it's important to acknowledge that it's not the end. When one door closes, another opens. You may have been desperate for change, but now that it's here, you could feel vulnerable. Know that the mighty goddess Freya will guide you. Illusions are now being revealed so that you can leave behind anything that is false. Step into your peaceful, warrior-like energy and welcome the changes you deserve. Tie up all loose ends and take heart. This is an exciting time. Take heart. And ripples. What I'm seeing is that these decisions that you make now will cause ripples. You can help use the energy of the moon to guide the energy of those ripples. Yeah. I'm sorry. Back to the moon energy guiding those ripples, right? Remember that the moon impacts us, not just the tides, but the tides inside of us as well. Those emotional tides that we all go through. And with our intention, combined with the focus of the moon, we can impact the energy that we have by sending them out with the tides. So when the moon is full and bright and shining, you can take that light and you can take that energy, and that ripple that you're trying to create is magnified by that. And we plant those seeds during the new moon. The new moon is whenever you kind of start to set the intention, start to set the idea, but then the full moon comes around and then we take actual action. So you've got the tiny ripples of planting the seed, and then the big ripples of taking action. So now you've just got this magnificent picture. And because you're doing it with the intention of the seeds that you planted, that ripple that's going through your life is now going to be a ripple. You get to ride the wave of that ripple into the direction that you actually want to go. You plant the seed in the middle and it goes out in every direction. And you get to pick what part of that ripple you ride and where you take action. What part of that ripple you're on as you take action to propel you off into the next phase. Okay. Okay, Freya. The dragon. That one that's sticking out. It's still sticking out. Okay, I want flyers. If it's meant to come out, it'll come out. Nope. Fly with your wings like a dragon. Come on. Get out of your head and into your heart. I think that's one of the ones that tried to come out a while ago. Thank you very much. Okay. Challenge. Standing up for your rights in tranquility. Harmonious inaction. Okay, we've got 13 and 15. What's standing out to me the most right now about these two cards is this up here, facing in that direction, and these little swirls going up there in that direction, both coming from the dragon. The dragon, what I'm seeing here is the focus. It is the fire. It is that passion, that action energy. And it's very important to remember, even as we go through these changing cycles, to stay focused on our true north. To stay centered in ourselves, focused on our goals, and aligned with our true north. Going through cycles and changes, being on that wheel, you know, it's like the Wheel of Fortune card, being on that wheel that never stops turning. It's challenging. Sometimes you feel like you're getting pulled down with those ripples, you know, pulled into a rip current, but you're not. You always have the ability to come back within. That tranquility is your buoy. That tranquility will help you float back to the top so that you can guide yourself forward again. Okay. Ooh. Hercules is the constellation associated with this card. And here. The star associated with the herald is Corniferous, Beta Hercules. The wisdom of the herald, standing up for your rights. It's time to solve that problem. Conquer your fears and foes. Stand powerful and strong and claim your rights. You are a fierce warrior who's fully equipped to take on insurmountable obstacles. Ball your fist and unsheath your sword. The time has come for action. Slay the dragon. The wisdom of the dragon. Challenge. You will only be stronger through every challenge and obstacle. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Respect the difficulty of the situation. No matter how difficult, the hardship will give you wisdom. Are you strong enough to face it? The message from the card. Confront a challenge in your life with bravery. Don't avoid the subject or fall back on niceties. It's time to confront this head on. Stand up for your rights and face the challenge. And 15. The constellation associated with this is the crow. Very fitting for the crow to come out with Freya. And the star is Gienah, Gamma Corvi. The wisdom of the herald is harmonious in action. Sometimes the best action is inaction. It's time to wait things out, smell the roses, recline, sit down, and surround yourself with the comfort of trusted allies. Find harmony in stillness and reflection. The situation will ultimately work itself out. Breathe. Peace and the wisdom of the dragon. Peace and tranquility are yours if you want them. Earn your sense of wellness and harmony by actively engaging in the practice of stillness. Take your time. A solid foundation within and a quiet temperament are invaluable for you right now. Seek ease, healing, peace, wisdom. Peace be with you. The invocation of the card. Now is not the time for action, but inaction. Achieve your harmony by staying still in a world that otherwise rushes consistently. Break away from the fray to engage in harmonious activity. Find peace and tranquility. The world can wait a while as you restore your faculties. Find peace. Find peace. The more peace and stillness that we find by meditating and going within, the more power and strength that we have in order to stand up to the challenge, in order to stand up for our rights, in order to know exactly what it is that we want. I'm very much seeing on this side of the card, the dragon that it feels like we're battling. We're down here just ready to stand up to the challenge, ready to slay the dragon. And the crow is so still, even in the face of that fire, even in the face of that dragon. It can see through the dragon's anger. The dragon is stuck here. Look. It almost feels like that dragon is angry because he's stuck. You can see there's tears in the wings. He's been stuck in one place, furiously flapping his wings for so long. Maybe the challenge here is taking a closer look at the dragon that you think you're fighting. Is this dragon as strong and powerful as you think it is? Does this dragon need to be fought? Or does this dragon need to be helped? Yeah, it's got the fire burning in its throat, but it's not unleashing it. If you can stay calm, stay centered, keep your eyes open, let the moon guide you as you face this challenge, you'll be able to see which part of the ripple to take to get there, which angle to come at it from, so that you're not creating a fight where there doesn't need to be one, so you're not causing more harm than good. And the more time you spend within yourself, the more time you spend in that harmonious inaction, the better you get at discerning when the dragon is worth fighting. And when the dragon is worth bowing to and helping. Not bowing to in worship, bowing to in seeing yourself as equal to the dragon, because you finally realize that the dragon is just a part of you that you have trouble facing. And that tranquility helps to tame the dragon that's within. This has been a bit of a bumpy reading for me. I feel a lot of good energy coming through, but it's just a bumpy reading. Well, I just pulled the cards out of the deck, and this is what pulled out for me. Release control. First quarter moon in Taurus. Oh, yeah, because I'm gonna pull just one from this. They didn't want to shuffle. Release control. Release control. Reflect on your priorities. Last quarter moon in Aquarius. Can I have one more to balance it out, please? No, from the other deck, though. Oh. Reflect on your priorities. And let's see. Oh, sorry, I should do this on camera. What is the challenge that we think is a challenge that might just need help over here? The dragon we think we're fighting. Oh, you are not alone. I'm seeing two things in this. First of all, what we think we're fighting might be ourselves. It might be thinking that we have to do it alone, because no one else seems to take that same no one sees the dragon the way that we see the dragon. And you're not alone. And in fact, I'm seeing, what I'm reading in this is that the dragon might not be yours. The dragon might be, you know, that pattern that's just run through the system, the pattern that's just repeating through the DNA. And with Freya being the maiden, the mother, and the crone energy all wrapped into one, that also makes sense that the ancestor cards would come out. But this challenge might not even be yours. Perhaps then it could be somebody else's.